We're here at the end of the baseball season. It's the final Mark Kingston show of the year, and we're going to recap a pretty successful season. Coach, an NCAA tournament berth for the first time in 13 years. And sure, I know every season has to end with a loss except for the national champion, but getting this team to the NCAA tournament, if you're going to look back on this season, what do you take away from this?
So much. Very satisfying season, I think, for the coaching staff, for the players, for our program as a whole, and everybody that's involved in it. Before the season, we knew that it had been a long time since we had been in the NCAA tournament, so we made that a stated goal. Our first team meeting, we said, let's be the team that gets through and gets over the hump, and we did that. So I'm so proud of this team for doing it. I don't know along the way, if people thought, hey, they really can do it or they can't, but at the end of the day, we did it, and this group is such a special group for setting the foundation for what we want the expectations to be.
Was there a time, or maybe a weekend or a series, you can just kind of pinpoint that say this might have helped us get in, or this has kind of defined our season?
Well, there are a lot of steps along the way that when you look back in hindsight, you say if that didn't go that way, maybe we didn't get in. Opening weekend, we beat Cal State Fullerton. Beating Illinois on the road, that ended up being a host and is now in the Final 16. Beating them in their ballpark, I thought was a big win. The last win of the regular season against UCF, getting the big double play with the bases loaded to win that series, I thought was a huge win. And if any of those things don't happen, it might have been even cause for more concern on Selection Monday. So many great moments throughout the year, so many things that will be lasting memories for players and coaches and fans, and so just a great season all the way around, and so much had to go our way, and our kids worked so hard to make those moments happen that when you see it end on Selection Monday with the team going crazy, that's what it's all about.
There are a couple of comebacks this year, late innings, a couple of big rallies that even fell short. The 5 runs with 2 outs against UCF in the 9th inning of that one. Was there something about this team that you instilled in them, or you discovered that they had that mindset, they were not going to quit until that final out was recorded?
Well, we stress it all the time, and this team had quality people on it. Kids with character, a ton of kids with character and toughness, both mentally and physically. So all we did as coaches was say, we're going to play 27 outs, regardless of the score. If somebody shows up and watches us play, they should know if we're up 10 or down 10. We're going to play the same way, with the same determination, the same discipline, until the last out is made. So whether we're winning or losing, we're going to play the same way. So I think what you get is a team that just never gives in, always fights till the end, and we had a lot of great comebacks because of that.
And I know this group of seniors, you did not coach them all the way through. You inherited this group and this entire team. But for guys like Kyle Teef and Austin Luke and Buddy Putnam, who left this mark of getting to the NCAA tournament, what did you tell them about what their legacy would be here?
I told them how much we appreciate them. As you said, they were here for a long time, and I only had the privilege to coach them for 1 year. But whether you coach a guy for 1 year or 4 years, the relationships you build will last for a long, long time. And so I really appreciate this group. I told them many times when a new coach comes in with seniors, the dynamic is either going to be, hey, everybody just wants to get through it and have it be over, or you really bond and you build some great memories and lasting relationships, and there's no question that's what happened with us. We'll have lifelong relationships. They set the foundation for this program. They were just so important, and they bought into the fact that we wanted to try to make this the first regional team in a long time, and they succeeded. But they also did so much in the community. We had one of our seniors, Nick Alfonso, win the Male Scholar Athlete of the Year here, and so just the impact that this group had on and off the field will never be forgotten, and as I said, lays the foundation for our expectations moving forward.
So an NCAA tournament in the 2015 season. That's what last year had. We'll talk about what's coming up next and what the offseason has in store after this on The Mark Kingston Show.
This is where the legends live, waiting for someone with better innovation. From the brand that reinvented the t-shirt comes the Under Armour Speedform Apollo. This is our rocket ship.
So we're in the off season for baseball, but for coaches, I know there's really no off season. What's it like for you and your coaches now this summer? What's kind of your daily routine, if there is one?
Well, upon completion of the season, you have your exit meetings with your players and talk about expectations for them and what they need to improve on during the summer and what they need to come back in the fall, having gotten better at. So that's the first step. Next step is then setting up your entire recruiting calendar. Mike Current, Billy Mole, and myself will be out recruiting most of the summer. As well as Chris Cates running camps here on our field all summer as well. So it's a combination of recruiting, camps that keep coaches busy throughout the summer. We'll work extremely hard in recruiting like we always do. Coach Current does a great job in leading those efforts. And Billy Mole is out there watching tons and tons of games, evaluating pitchers for our future. And Chris Cates, I think, is going to do a tremendous job putting camps on for the kids of the community too. So be just as busy during the summer, just a different kind of busy doing different things.
Baseball is such a tricky sport because really it's the only sport that can punish you for recruiting too well. If a guy you sign all of a sudden then gets drafted and decides to sign a future deal. So how much kind of re-recruiting do you have to do if you see some of these guys' names called in the MLB draft?
Well, we're the only sport that has to beat other schools in recruiting for step one and then beat the pros in step two of recruiting. And so what we try to do is recruit the best players we can that we think have a legitimate desire to get a college education. And when you do that, and you find the right kids that want to play pro baseball one day, but maybe want to do college first and get their education, a lot of it taken care of, what you do is you find really good players that set their bonus demands to sign out of high school pretty high. And so that's what we've tried to do. So if we have some recruits that end up getting $1 million and they decide that they want to sign, I mean, we'll wish them the best of luck. We understand. Otherwise, we hope to get the players and help them continue to grow and develop physically, mentally, everything that it takes to get through college. And I think 3 years from now, they'll enter the draft in a much better position. But that's up to them. We support our recruits with the decisions they make, as well as the same way we do with our current players. But it is a challenge, there's no question about it. But to be great, to be the type of teams that get to Omaha, you have to be recruiting those kinds of players, and we just understand that's part of the deal.
Now, another side of that, you can also lose current players, and guys like Jimmy Herget and Tommy Peterson and maybe a few others, if they hear their name called and try to negotiate. How much of an advisor do you serve as, or really are you kind of removed from the process because they don't have that advisor? They can't sign with an agent if they are still considering coming back to college.
Right. Well, we try to advise them and help them along the way. We understand that our guys that get to their junior year and become good pro prospects, that they want to move on, and we support that 100%. That's part of the college experience, is setting yourself up to chase your dreams, and so we support that 100%. So we have guys on our team that I think will get drafted very well and receive sizable bonuses, and will move on to the next level. As I said, we support that. That's what we want to be known as, is a team that really develops players, helps them get to the next level, support them, advise them, and once they leave, though, they're still part of our family here, and they'll probably work out here in the off season when they're pros. And once again, that's just part of the culture we want to have, is we want to be filled with pro prospects, so the scouts are always crawling around our stadium.
This year, taking the team to the NCAA tournament was such a big step. Now is that kind of the minimum, the expectation that you tell these current guys and your new crop of players coming in?
I think so. Now, next year, obviously, there's going to be a good amount of turnover, and we'll have a ton of young guys, a lot of freshmen on our team. But I think the expectation for our program, and I said it from day one, needs to be that we're fighting for regionals every year. And the better we get and the longer we're here, I think those expectations grow from there. But to me, the baseline needs to be in our program that we want to make the regional every year and be a consistent force there. And then as we continue to build the roster and have more depth, and have years to recruit, we want to be the kind of team that's knocking on the door to Omaha. No question about it. I think we can do it. I think we have the experience. I think being in Tampa and in Florida, we get the kind of players that can get us there. So it's just a matter of continuing to build it brick by brick. And if you continue to put enough of the pieces together, at some point that stuff starts to happen.
Well, the sun is out, your shirt is bright, and just like that, the future looks bright here for USF baseball. So thanks for watching the Mark Kingston Show all season long here on GoUSFBulls.com.